So we're talking to Charlie Bill then, manager of MKDONS, and we're in second week of lockdown. Charlie, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Simon. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really, really good. Stir crazy, or you're going out for your walks and stuff?
A little bit, yeah. Trying to keep as busy as possible. I know, obviously, not having the football side of things is a little bit disappointing from our end, but we are trying to adapt to new ways to try and keep us socially involved, keep that face-to-face contact across your Zooms, your team calls, and we've been doing some interval sessions, some hit interval training sessions together, some match analysis sessions together, which is hopefully keeping us ticking over for, fingers crossed, a shorter lockdown, and we're preparing to go as soon as the 2nd of December comes round.
Yeah, no, like I said to you, I think last week, I'm really excited for the Portsmouth game. That is going to be an absolute cracker. Really believe that, as well as but building on what you've already done as well already is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Now, last week you promised me a player or two. Is that right?
Yes, so, well, thankfully, as I said last week, I know a lot of the players are always very, as I say, welcome and want to kind of build kind of their reputation, but our reputation as a club. So thankfully for us, we've got Laura here, who's club captain, and then Dominika as well, who plays in wide areas as a winger. So they both joined us here today.
Hello, Laura, and hello, Dominika.
Hi.
Hi.
I love the way, Dominika, you're waving for radio. I think that's really important. So I find that really exciting. So welcome to the show. It's really great to have your company, and we're going to find out a little bit about you, find out what you like, find out what other bits and pieces. But Charlie, first of all, what is it about Laura that really inspires you? What is it about her that you think is just amazing?
I think working with Laura for the last 2 or 3 years, straight away when she come in, we knew her experience she's had at the high levels of this game and the leadership she brought in. So naturally, as I say, being a centre back, that's something that you look for. But also what she does both in possession and out possession, so comfortable on the ball, but as I say, dominates her 1v1 battles out of possession. And then, as I say, her understanding of the game's fantastic, and that's how, as a captain, she can help her teammates. And like we speak about often, we've got a young RTC that we bring 16, 17-year-olds, and that's a big role for a captain. And I think she's taken that on board fantastically well. And like I keep saying, the good work doesn't just come from us as players, as staff, but also that comes from the leadership team, we call as such, which is that captain and vice captain as well.
Laura, are you embarrassed, or is that a fair assumption?
It's flattering to hear. It's good news that Charlie's got positive things to say.
So as a defender, do you think you get a better view of the game then as captain?
Yeah, it certainly helps. Obviously, other than the goalkeeper who's behind, who's really vocal. I think Chloe's come in and done fantastic things for us this year. But as a centre back, you do get to see the game in front of you, and it certainly helps from a tactical perspective to be able to kind of make sure that each unit is doing what they need to do, pass on that information, and really kind of make sure that we're doing as a team what Charlie has set us out to do.
And Charlie has just mentioned the other work that you do with the girls. How important is that to you?
I think as a captain, that's kind of one of the most important elements, is the environment and the atmosphere that's created for the players. There's kind of that old saying that happy players are good players. And I think that's a really important part to me. As a club, we're really close, the staff and the playing people within it. And I think that's sort of one of the big reasons that we started to really push on this year, is the balance of personalities in the team, and how everyone has sort of come in, the young players, the new players, the experienced ones, and all play a massive part in everything that we're trying to achieve.
Which is absolutely brilliant. Now, Charlie, it'd be unfair not to ask you exactly the same question about Dominika. Now, Dominika's been part of the club, 15 months now?
Yeah, so Dominika come down last pre-season, so not this one, last pre-season. And I'm sure every player will kind of echo what I've got to say about Dom and the fact that the moment she come in was, I think, some traits you look in a player, and sometimes you can challenge players to work harder, to be more committed. And I think the moment that Dom walked through the door, it was almost, she showed that straight away. She's so hardworking. She wants to push herself. Every single training session, she's trying to do better. She's trying to develop. And I think having players like Dom around the environment not only pushes herself, but people look up to Dom and go, actually, she brings that social side of things together. Like Laura was saying, as like a captain, a player like Dominika is fantastic to have around, because not only has she got that technical quality of both feet, she's got a wide range of skills as well, but actually that drive, that determination to be the best player that she can be, is fantastic from her side.
Dominika, what do you think? Are you embarrassed, or is that it's okay, right?
Well, I'm really pleased to hear these words, you know. So it means a lot to hear something like this from like manager that I really admire. So yeah, it's really nice to hear that.
But you really do have a passion for football, though, don't you?
Yeah, basically I came to England to play football. You know, when I was a little, I used to like watch Premier League, you know, and all these big stadiums, and I always wanted to play at the big stadium, and now I get to play at this big stadium, and it's just amazing, you know, like to know like you can go from zero to hero, you know. So it feels really good.
And coming to MKDONS Women, there is a stadium experience, isn't it? Because some of the other places that you
Yeah.
worked don't have the same facilities and don't have the same maybe impetus.
Yeah, and you know, like MK Stadium. So in my country, there's no bigger stadium than actually MK. So I get to play at that big stadium, and you know, like I think it's for every player. It means really a lot to play at that stadium. So we all work really hard to deserve that place at the stadium.
No, that's brilliant. And your family must be so proud, right?
I hope so. Oh yeah, yeah. I haven't seen them for a while now, since last Christmas. So it's been a long time, really.
Inspires you? Who is it that in football inspires you, whether a man or a woman?
I think probably like most people, a big inspiration, I'd have to say, is my dad. He was sort of the person right from when I was sort of 4 years old and wanted to start playing football, who has sort of been there and been a big sort of driving force behind it. Within the game itself, I think obviously you kind of look up to players who play in similar positions. So I think Steph Orton as a centre half, as a captain, how she conducts herself, the manner in which she plays is definitely somebody that I try to kind of learn from and you know, kind of see what she does well and replicate that in my own game. Within the male game, I think obviously currently probably the best centre half is Van Dijk, and he kind of emits a calmness throughout the team, and again that's something that I try to replicate in my own game. So I think as a player, you're kind of constantly looking at people that you can learn from, whether that is people such as Charlie, who just kind of continuously drive you to try and be better and help your development, or other players that you can watch from and so hopefully kind of take little bits from their game and add it to your own.
Yeah, no, totally. And Dominika, well, who from the Premiership then, or from the ladies' game as well, that inspires you?
Well, my favorite player would be Ronaldinho, my all-time favorite player. To be fair, because like seeing him, the way he enjoys the game, the way he moves, it really good. And also like I'm learning every day, and I also learn from my teammates, but not only from like football side, but as a people, because like goals are really nice and really inspiring around what we've got.
And Charlie,
So for me, pardon?
Go on, sorry.
Yeah, but so for me would be Ronaldinho, but also I like Pelé. So he used to do kick-ups with mango. So when I watched a movie about him, the next day I went to the shop, I bought a mango, and I was trying to do kick-ups with mango, but it's not that easy.
No, we had mango for tea, and some of them are a bit rock hard, and you don't want a squashy one, right? Because that's going to go straight into your boot. Charlie, Dominika talked about fun then and about enjoying the game. How do you put an essence of seriousness about the game, but also in allowing them to play and enjoy it, just as Dominika said?
Yeah, I think that's, and I've said it a few times in terms of the culture that we're trying to create. And I think that when you drive things like standards, expectations, and you set them out very early in the season, hopefully as either coaching staff, as Laura's like a part of the leadership squad and the captain, we hopefully don't really have to touch base on that again. Because if we drive that in early, then everybody knows the expectation and the standards. So then what that means, and that just creates a really positive environment. So that means when you are going into delivering sessions, planning the sessions, players being involved, you're not having to worry about, I don't know, if we, let's say, for example, if we say an expectation is to turn up at this time to be ready here, we know as a squad, every player is actually ready 5 minutes, 10 minutes before that. So you're not then having to adapt, having to change plans. And I just think that just then allows us to create that culture early. And we try and do balance things that, okay, there'll be stuff that we break into unit specific stuff. There'll be some unopposed stuff, but also we do try and have that balance of fun and social side. The last little session we done on the Tuesday before lockdown was a bit of a 4-team tournament. Staff got involved, players got involved, because you want that connection as well. And it's not all, it is about ultimately getting 3 points on a Sunday, but you have to have that balance of confidence because as Laura said already, if you're a happy, confident player, you're probably playing at your best level. So, or playing, the best you have done. So that's something we're trying to bring in.
We're talking to Charlie, Laura and Dominika here on the radio, and we're talking about MKDONS Women's Football, which is brilliant. Right, Laura, you up for a game?
Indeed, yeah.
Oh, brilliant. You have no idea what you just said yes to, but this is fine. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to put 30 seconds on the clock. Okay, I'm going to ask you as many quick fire questions as well to find out the most about you, if that's all right. And we'll just see how many you get through. Is that all right?
Yeah, brilliant.
Right. Okay. So 30 seconds on the clock starts now. Who's your hero?
Michael Ballack.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be?
In Cambridge.
What is your biggest fear?
Losing a game of football.
What is your favorite family vacation?
Mauritius when I was younger.
What would you change about yourself if you could?
Make myself a bit taller.
And what makes you really angry?
Losing.
Stop there. 30 seconds. Thank you very much, Laura. Well done to you. You scored 6. You're right. So that was easy, right? Let's do that again. And with Dominika, welcome to the afternoon show here, Dominika. And you happy to play a game?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to ask you as many questions as you can. Now, I won't tell you what Laura scored yesterday, okay, but I will say it's quite high. All right, so see how many you can get right. Okay, there's no right or wrong answers. It's just finding out about you, but we'll see how many we can get through. Is that all right?
Yep.
Brilliant. Right, your 30 seconds starts now. What motivates you to work hard?
My dreams.
What is your favorite thing about your career?
That love to football. I like football.
Okay, what's your biggest compliment about your job?
I'm very committed.
Okay, what's your proudest achievement?
Playing at MK.
What's your favorite book to read?
That would be Pele.
Okay, stop there. Right. Yes. Well,
how many I've got?
How many did you get? Well, Laura didn't ask how many she got, but I will let her know later on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Laura scored 6.
Oh no!
Yes.
That's not
him right.
Right. Okay. Welcome back. Then we're talking to Laura and Dominika and Charlie from MKDONS Women. Laura, you said a while ago when your older sister is a mother, 2 incredible kids, and your little brother is a doctor, and you're the middle child who's yet to achieve anything. Is that true? Have you never achieved anything?
Well, I think. Obviously, I think very proud of both my siblings. I think they've obviously gone on and done fantastic things and continue to do so. I would like to say, I hope to say I'm the better footballer out of the 3 of us, though. So maybe that's kind of what I've achieved. And playing at Milton Keynes, playing in a 30,000 seater stadium. That's not something that either of the other two can say.
Exactly. I don't care how many operations or how many, surgeries or whatever. Playing football in front of a crowd is terrifying. I'm more than sure. I'm more than sure. Dominika, and for yourself, you've talked about your passion, and on your Insta, there's lots of pictures of you doing football and playing and other bits and pieces. How important is it to demonstrate to the world around you how decent and how good women's football is?
I think it's important for people to see like we play really good football, and not many people knows that, and it's getting better. But I think it's important to just show people that we're really good at football as well. We can be as good as anyone else. So
Brilliant.
yeah.
Charlie, what are the two things that what is one thing that Laura and Dominic could work on to make their game better? If you could say, I want to inspire them just before they play the game, what is it that you'd say that would inspire them before they run out onto the pitch?
I think for me, it's not always in terms of before you go out on the pitch. Hopefully, we would have created a weekly plan in terms of either the opposition we're playing against or something that we need to do better from previous weeks. So often beforehand, it will be, I don't know, little reminders of expect this, or this is what we want you to do. This is something to do better, or something that we didn't do well enough from last week. So usually it's a kind of week to week changing process, but it sounds like a cliche. Most of the time it's to go and do and work hard and be committed, because we know, as I say, in both roles, either Dom or Laura, in terms of there will be mistakes made, and no player ever walks out on that pitch, crosses that white line and goes, I'm going to go make a mistake today. So I think the only thing that we ever question or we're disappointed with is when we see maybe that teams are working harder than us, looking more committed, looking more organised than us. So that's where we might throw questions or go, actually, these are the areas that we need to develop.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Right. So we're here with Laura and with Dominika and with Charlie, and final game, if that's okay, Laura and Dominika. And today you're going to be working together. Who would like to go first, Dominika or Laura?
Laura's captain.
Okay. Oh, it's a good call. It's a good call, but you might regret that. Right. Okay. Charlie, you're going to give us your answer in just a moment. But Laura, Charlie wants a chocolate bar. Does he choose Snickers, Mars, or something else? Don't say anything, Charlie. Laura, does he choose Snickers, Mars, or something else?
I hope he says a Snickers.
Okay. Dominika, you can't say Snickers. Does he choose Mars or something else?
So I vote for Mars.
Okay. Charlie, you've not been warned about this. You want a chocolate bar. Do you choose Snickers, Mars, or something else?
Let's say probably Laura's going to probably be right there. If a meal deal, whenever there's a meal deal, usually it is the Snickers that I go for.
Well done, Laura. So 1 point to you. Right, Dominika. Charlie wants a day out. All right. Does he choose a theme park, the beach, or something else?
Something else.
Something else. Right. Laura, you got a choice between theme park or the beach. Does Charlie choose one of those for his days out?
I think he looks like the type of guy that would enjoy a beach day.
A beach day, right? So especially in the UK, right? Charlie, what would you choose? You got a day out. Is it a theme park? Is it a beach, or is it something else?
I'd probably go something else. Could it be along the lines of going to a live sport event of some sort? That'll be usually my go-to. I would say I'm not really the beach type of person. I get quite fidgety, so I'm not really one for laying down. I'd probably say out of two, theme park over beach, but I'd say something else if I could.
Don't worry, Laura. It's okay. This is it. So it's 1-1. Okay. Finally. Okay. We have to start with then Laura, because she's then the captain. Would Charlie rather use a fork for the rest of his life, or choose a spoon to eat with for the rest of his life? You can only choose a fork or a spoon. What would he choose?
I think, as he's quite logical, I think you'd probably go with a spoon because it could use most food.
Okay, Dominika. Charlie's got one option, and you're going to have to say fork, right? So there's no other
Well, I've got no option, right?
no, another option. It's just a fork, I'm afraid. So Charlie, you have a choice. For the rest of your life, you can only use a fork, no spoon, or you can only use a spoon and no fork.
Yeah, I think logic probably prevails there in terms of I'm a big fan of soup, things like that. I don't think that's going to work with a fork, so I probably would have to go with a spoon.
So well done, Laura. Yes, it's
Yes.
2-1, and you
I
won.
don't think that was fair.
And you've
That
won
was
overall
fair.
this week. Laura, you've won overall this week. You won the game earlier this week with 6, and Dominika only sadly scored 5. So so well done to you. Right, final questions then. Portsmouth game is coming up, Laura. What do you do? What do you look at? How do you plan ahead?
Obviously, that's something that Charlie and the staff will be already preparing us for, and as players, we'll make sure that any game plan that is put in place, we follow, we work hard, and obviously, currently, our big responsibility as players is to make sure that we physically keep in the best conditions that we can do over lockdown. And then once we're able to get back on the training pitch, so it'll be following the tactical things that the staff have picked up to make sure we kind of go into that game as fully prepared as possible.
And Dominika, how much are you missing football and looking forward to the games starting again?
Yeah, really missing football, but I can still, there's always, you can still improve, so I'll take this time to work even harder, so work on my weaknesses. So, but yeah, we're missing football. I guess like everyone like in the team, like missing that sessions, to be together and play football. So yeah,
That is
it's hard,
brilliant.
but we can always use this time to improve ourselves. So
Always time, Charlie,
we
right?
don't
To get on the pitch and to get off the pitch and build towards those games, right?
Yeah, and I think like Dominika said there, it was almost I call it almost like little wins. We're trying to get a step above opposition, every opposition within our league. So we're trying to get ourselves in the best shape and making sure that the moment that we can go into training again and probably that quick, it will be fairly quick turnaround into the next league fixture. It's making sure that actually we're in a physically good condition, and it's just about applying, as I say, the games, the tactical side of thing that we want from training. Because once again, we know probably it's going to be a mini stop-start in terms of a couple of fixtures, then Christmas break. So actually it's maintaining what we've done, because it has been a fantastic probably month, 6 weeks, and hopefully ticking that over to the next couple of weeks before wrapping up for Christmas.
No, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Well, look, thank you all so much for being on the show all days this week. Thank you very much for being on the show today as well, all of you. So thank you very much, Laura, for your company.
Thank you very much, Simon. Brilliant to get to talk to you at last.
And Dominika, thank you so much for your upfront and supplying the crossings for some amazing goals as well, right?
Oh, thank you.
And Charlie, thank you so much. And we'll talk again next week, right, with a few more players?
Yes, we've got a couple more lined up for next week as well. So, yeah, excited.